more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColidusFoundation.org.
Is this the tether?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
UCLA and USC are two of the four number one seeds in the NCAA women's basketball tournament. The other two number one seeds, South Carolina and Texas. First game for UCLA is Friday at Pauley Pavilion against UC San Diego or Southern University. They meet up Wednesday in a play-in game. Southern is one of two HBCU schools in the NCAA women's tournament. The other is Norfolk State. First game for USC is Saturday at noon at the Galen Center against North Carolina Greensboro. UCLA also has a team in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Bruins, a number 7 seed in the Midwest Regional, play Utah State Thursday night in Lexington, Kentucky. The Lakers snapped their 4-game losing streak Sunday. They beat Phoenix 106-97. The Clippers are 6-1 in their last 7 games after beating Charlotte 123-88, 31 points and 7 assists for James Harden. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce that like George and Weezy,
We're moving on now.
earlier this year, we were named as semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Wait for it. Wait for it.
You ready?
KBLA Talk 1580 was recently selected as one of 10 finalists being considered for this prestigious award. Hundreds of organizations, institutions, and even cities were nominated in the selection process. But KBLA Talk 1580 has made it to the finals. You're invited to watch live on Wednesday, April 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, as Eco America announces the winner and the runner-up, awarding over $200,000 in prize money. To watch live, just go to ecoamerica.org to register and attend the online ceremony. That's ecoamerica.org. Don't miss the presentation of the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025, Wednesday, April 16th, and wish us luck. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
21, oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Saharah Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
Saharah Ali is a yoga instructor, a meditation teacher, a sound healer and sound bath expert. She's also a life coach, an astrologer, and a numerologist. I'm sure I forgot a few other titles, but I'm always happy to have her in the space to start our week with Mindful Mondays. Good morning, Saharah.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions, honoring our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our power, faith, truth, and wisdom. Today, I'd like to unpack the celestial influence of our first Mercury Retrograde of the year. Yes, the first Mercury Retrograde of 2025 for the next 23 days in Aries, giving us an opportunity to pause, reflect, and let go. Mercury changed directions 3 or 4 times a year because everybody's like, it's Mercury Retrograde again, So just know it changes directions 3 or 4 times a year, shifting our perspective, aiding deep introspection and renewal. Mercury's goal is to keep us in present time, and Aries' task is to support the action needed to move through present time with strength, faith, and truth, reclaiming our power, celebrating our identity, and the gift of Mercury retrograde supports expression of both sides of our brain. Our right brain opens, stimulating intuition, clarity, and creativity, leaving the left brain for linear thinking. And retrograde planets, all of them, facilitate karmic balance, bringing light to all things in our lives, allowing us to redo, rethink, reframe, and go over old ground to face truth and retrieve our power. Mercury retrograde affects all forms of communication, so expect delays in travel and communication. Pay close attention to all details. Make extra time for all tasks and exercise lots of patience. But most of all, slow down to receive divine guidance supporting major change. We have 3 weeks of intense Mercury energy aiding us consciously to reframe our thoughts and actions, manifesting what we want, releasing what we don't want. Also utilizing self-love and inner wisdom to celebrate wholeness. So going forward today with our Mindful Monday meditation, let's unapologetically reframe our expectations, centering and grounding ourselves to embrace the gifts of Mercury Retrograde for the next 3 weeks. So take a breath. Let's quiet our minds and be here right now in this moment. Take a big breath. Tap into inner peace. And slowly exhale, releasing any tension, any tightness in your body. Allow yourself to be right here, right now, in this moment, connecting to inner wisdom. Take a breath. And now exhale. Just open your heart and mind. Open your heart and mind to the change that already exists within you. Just listen to your breath as it moves in and out of your body. And every time you exhale, allow yourself to be here now, one with your breath and one with the power of your wholeness. Just breathe, relax, and let go. And as you inhale, call on your angels to support releasing and letting go. And as you exhale, give yourself permission to align to your highest good. Just breathe, honoring yourself, and making the promise to engage in self-love. And just breathe, allowing yourself to open to compassion and patience. Allow yourself to release, relax, and let go. And now inhale. And as you inhale, acknowledge every moment of our lives offers positive change, empowerment, and growth. And as you exhale, release expectations, release judgment, release fear. Inhale, honoring our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Just exhale and relax. Stay in that world behind your eyes. And now take the biggest breath you've had all morning and hold in that breath. And as you hold the breath, open to listening with your heart. And as you exhale, allow yourself to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation for the week. Today, I unapologetically embrace my wholeness, ready to review, to retrieve, and renew all aspects of my life. Today, I unapologetically embrace my wholeness, ready to review, revive, and renew all aspects of my life. Today, I unapologetically embrace my wholeness, ready to review, retrieve, and renew all aspects of my life. Breathe, anchoring yourself, grounding yourself, bringing yourself back to present time, and opening the space to embrace the wholeness that already exists within you, and ready to review, retrieve, and renew all aspects of your life to step into your wholeness, to step into your greatness, and to be on purpose. Thank you, Dominique. Thank you, Tavis Smiley. Thank you, Miles. Have a beautiful, blessed, unapologetically blessed week. And remember, Mercury's retrograde. Give yourself time to get to where you're going and understand that this is an opportunity to look at who you're willing to be and to review all the things that's no longer serving you. And it's 26 days in Mercury retrograde and 14 days in retro shade.
You put the in retrograde, review, revise, and renew. I always think about review and revise because retrograde is, looking backwards. At least that's always been my understanding. It's a time to look backwards. But I never thought about renew. And I guess that's where the slowing down, looking inside, doing more meditation, and relying on our our intuitive mind is comes in. Is that right?
Yeah, the bottom line is Mercury retrograde, another name for it is the course corrector. It corrects the course so that we can align with our inner wisdom and our truth and steer towards our highest good. So, people are like, but it's a course corrector because it corrects the course, allowing you to reframe the path that you're on and to revitalize whatever is needed to stay on the path, but also to help you correct any dynamics that's not serving you and where you're trying to go. So it's actually a gift.
You always remind us that. I love that so much. It's a gift. It may feel like a hassle, but it's a gift. So sometimes things that are not, necessarily convenient or easy do end up bearing fruit or end up changing our lives in ways that we would not have foreseen, but which actually help us incredibly.
Yeah, one of the things with Mercury retrograde is asking us, how are you using your mind? How are you using your time? And what is the purpose of your mind? And how are you existing in your truth as Mercury retrograde to give you an opportunity to connect with your inner wisdom, but to also bring truth bombs so that we can move forward with grace and ease.
The truth bombs. Well, Saharah Ali, thank you for your insights. I was playing about Mercury retrograde yesterday at Black Women Are Divine because we had so many equipment breakdowns during the course of the show, but yet it was a great show. Everybody worked around it. In fact, it elevated, and it was a beautiful turnout. And so there you have it. We connected in the most sort of loving human way, even with a couple of microphone outages that were quickly and sometimes not so quickly resolved.
I think this is going to be a really good Mercury retrograde because we get both some Pisces energy of reflection and spirituality, and we get some Aries energy saying, who am I and how am I willing to stand in my truth and how am I willing to be on purpose? Because this is how we will transcend and survive the ignorance that is unfolding, so that we have to remember not to forget we are powerful, we are unique and divine, and it's our time.
Absolutely. If you want to go to a sound bath, do we have one to announce, Saharah? You can always go to SaharahAli.com. It's SaharAh, SaharahAli.com, and find out where she's teaching yoga, doing a sound bath. Just be on time or you're going to be locked out.
And that won't be a retrograde moment.
No, that'll be an everyday moment. If you want to get a reading or have a consultation, some life coaching, call Elise at 213-628-9783. That's Saharah's assistant, Elise at 213-628-9783. Saharah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dominique, and have a blessed week, KBLA family.
And indeed we shall. Man, there's things going on, things to talk about. Now the White House is saying we're not ignoring the court orders to stop deporting people, even though we're deporting people. Don't believe what you see with your eyes. Believe what we tell you. If you want to talk about this or something else, because there's a lot going on. Some of it pretty inspiring, some of it pretty insane. Well, this is a place to tap in. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
The revolution will not be televised.
What's up? It is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render, and I'm encouraging you to listen to more, not less, of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Man, my child is looking smarter and smarter. I remember when Alexa came out and I was getting ready to get it, and my child was like, no, Mama, don't get it, don't get it. Why would you send personal information about us to the richest man in the world, or one of the richest men in the world at the time, to make him richer? And I actually listened to my child. Immediately I was like, well, I could just unplug it or put it in the garage. And my kid said, no, actually it has a backup battery, so it can keep collecting data on you when you unplug it, and you would have to put it inside a silo full of lead marbles or something. So I decided to listen to my kid. I don't need Alexa. Well, Amazon just announced that starting March 28th, you can't turn off the feature anymore that asks it to stop sending your stuff to the cloud. And if you turn off the feature that tells it not to record your conversations, you will lose access to all kinds of features that you bought the device for, i.e. voice recognition, so you can just quickly get calendar updates and stuff like that based on your voice. Well, they just quietly made that announcement. As of March 28th, everything and anything that's on your Alexa is basically fodder for Mr. Bezos, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, yeah, that's what they're doing. And, people are mad about it, but you should have listened to my kid. No, people are mad about it, but I mean, that's the thing. Data is gold now. Data is the new oil. And that's one of the reasons why Elon Musk having access to the Social Security system, for example, is problematic. Because now he can use all your data and have some kind of competitive advantage on steroids, right? Because he's getting raw data from every single American, and now he's competing with other users who have raw data from many Americans. Let's go to Ron calling us from Richmond. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, my beautiful forever Bay Area homegirl out of Frisco. You understand me? What's going on, Dominique? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I missed you. I tried to get through a couple of times, but you was mad busy with guests on your show, so I said, oh, well, I guess I'll call back another day. Get through here, Blessed to be here. My birthday coming up this Sunday. Shout out to all my fellow Aries.
Yes, the Aries are in the building. That we're going to do it our way or no way crew. The Aries.
Yeah, I see. Shout out to Molly Bell. She just mentioned my name in the chat. I love her, man. I can listen to her talk all day. She just has that voice, you know.
She does.
Just make you want to listen. Yeah, I love her, man. I ain't never met her in person or nothing like that, but I love her from the bottom of my heart. So Molly Bell, if you're listening, I love you, my sister. Sending you love from the Bay Area down there to the La La Land, Compton, all that good stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, real quick, I wanted to say rest in peace to my man Dwayne Wiggins. Man, I never got a chance to meet this brother, but you already know the history of Tony, and that man coming straight out of Oakland. He did his thing for real. So rest in peace to my brother and to Angie Stone and Roy Ayers. Just so many musical legends we lost here lately, man. God bless their souls, and just thank you for the music. Oh, I also want to shout out to you know I love music, Dominique. So shout out to Little Kim. She did a wonderful tribute to Biggie's mother. I just read it.
Oh, nice.
Here reading,
okay, I'll check that out. Yeah, I think I was the first person ever to interview Tony.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's just another one of those things. And yeah, a lot of people have been making their transitions, and you always keep track of it. So appreciate you for that, Ron from Richmond.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me get through it, man. I mean, I just love music, man. I grew up, you know, about old school radio back, you know, here in the Bay back in the day. So
absolutely,
I've been around music. I'm a choir member. I do sing.
Okay.
I'm not doing no singing over the phone. You know what I mean? I got to be behind the mic when I do mine, but I do sing. And shout out to Miles, man. I'm gonna support you, Miles, man. When you put that vinyl out, bro, I'm gonna go to the record store, man, and get you, man. I got you, bro. You doing your thing, man. Keep up the good work, bro.
He absolutely is. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. Much love going back to the Bay.
Dominique.
Jamal Hakeem in the chat says, I don't use Alexa. Yeah, I can see why. And somebody, Sir TR33 says, Happy White Folks Cinco de Mayo. I celebrate St. Patrick's Day by wearing black, white, and green, red, black, and green, whatever you're wearing. It's all good. I know that today in the Department of Defense, they will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day because Secretary of Defense Pete Mayonnaise Hegseth has decided that St. Patrick's Day is inexplicably exempt from bans on diversity, equity, inclusion. I wonder why that could be. Let's go to Dee calling us from Long Beach. Good morning, Dee.
Good morning, Dominique. How do you feel?
I'm good. What's up?
Nothing. I hate to tell you so, Dominique, but I told you so. They are grooming Pete Buttigieg, I don't want to slaughter his name, to be a young gay Jack Kennedy. Now I'll respond in 4 parts after you weigh in.
You're saying you think Pete Buttigieg is Jack Kennedy, meaning what?
I mean, he's just, like a cult of personality.
I thought Buttigieg was more like, I used to call him Biden light, because he reminds me more of like a centrist type, like Biden, only gay, and young.
Yeah, but Jack Kennedy is a brand, and Pete Buttigieg has several elements of a brand. He's a veteran. He's a parent. What else?
So are you thinking 2028, 2032? What are you thinking? I mean, I don't.
I think 2028. I think the Democratic Party is going to shoot themselves in the foot again, and they're going to go centrist.
Yeah, well, that would be a shoot in the foot for many reasons. Number one, trying to compete with a Trump person with any gay candidate is going to be hard, really, really hard. Even though I think an LGBTQ plus person, has that as good a shot as doing a decent job as anyone else as president. However, winning, especially since they're not going to embrace a black woman because they're going to say, we lost that way. If they, I just don't think. And then on top of that, like you say, a centrist, where the party needs to lean into the progressive base and the progressive policies that
but they're not going to
all
do that.
Americans like. No, they won't, because they're a bunch of punks, and which is why I'm thinking about getting out of the party.
To go into what party? A third party, or take over the Republican Party, or what?
No, I'm not going to go to the party of lynchers and sex pests. That's not the party for me. I think.
See, it takes 8 years to raise enough money to flip the White House. You know, you have to save up 8 years to do that. Our current
right, unless you're the richest man in the world, and then you can just and that's another reason why it's going to be a problem, because if they don't throw Elon under the bus, which I don't see with his deep pockets, he can fund Eric Trump or Donnie Jr. or J.D. Vance or whoever whoever these Republicans decide to put up. So I don't know if Buttigieg, I mean, for me, you're right, it's more of centrist. I'll vote for a gay candidate. I have absolutely no problem with it. But a centrist, that I would have an issue with. I'm sick of this. Pushing Hillary on us when we wanted Bernie. You know what I mean? Pushing Biden on us when we wanted Warren. We'll see. A lot can happen in the next 3 years.
Yeah. I sat across from Dr. Nathan Hare in Ujima Lounge freshman year. I say that because in the pages of Out magazine, the editor urged his readers to embrace their inner black woman. Now, what does that say to you?
Everybody wants to be us. That's what it says to me. Till the police come.
Well, I have another zinger for you. I'm a flaming heterosexual having a bisexual experience.
What is a flaming heterosexual?
Black women do not see me because I do not have $1 million in the bank. Then they want to disparage you as a snow bunny or sellout.
But you're gay. So why are we having this conversation?
I didn't say gay. I said bisexual. There is a difference.
Oh, you did say you said bisexual today, but other days you've said gay. And so women probably read it as gay.
Yeah, and they're not trying to. They not
so it might not be the $1 million. It might be just I'm the wrong flavor for that, brother.
Maybe. I don't know. You never know what's going on in a woman's mind.
Yeah, but being one of those, a woman that is, if I see a black man, no matter how attractive he is, if his vibe is given gay, we can be friends.
That's a deal breaker.
Yeah, we can be friends. I mean, it's not even a deal breaker. It's like, why would I pursue someone that's not interested in me? Or why would I don't pursue men anyway? But you know what I'm saying. Why would I throw vibes? Why would I throw, I see you, I'm open to talking to you vibes your way if I know you're not interested in me? That would be like banging my head against the wall. Why would I want to do that? I don't care how fine you are, how many millions you have, unless we're cutting a deal where I'm going to be your official beard.
Business marriage.
Yeah, if you're looking for a beard, I might be open to that. That'd be a pretty good one. But other than that, why would I?
Okay, so once I figure out how to use this blasted machine, to paraphrase Strom Thurmond, We Must Rise.tv will hopefully go live sometime in the near future.
Okay, well, that's your platform that you're standing up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
To figure out how to use YouTube first.
Well, there's an app for that. No, you need someone under 50, 40. Help you figure it out. But it's good to talk with you, Dee, and safe travels. We got news, traffic, and sports right here. Then you can do what Dee did. Call me at 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Cleanup and recovery efforts continue after powerful storms hit the South and Midwest, killing dozens. Missouri reported at least 12 deaths, and the National Weather Service confirmed 34 tornadoes on Saturday. Newborns' parents and staff at a Texas hospital were exposed to measles by an infected woman. The U.S. measles cases have surged past 300, spreading from West Texas to New Mexico and Oklahoma. Minnesota Republican lawmakers proposed defending Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness, citing paranoia and hostility towards Trump. The bill is unlikely to pass due to a Democrat majority in the state Senate. And the NCAA men's basketball tournament field is set. Auburn is the top seed, followed by Duke, Houston, and Florida. Texas, Xavier, San Diego State, and North Carolina are the last 4 teams in. The tournament starts Tuesday with the championship crowned on April 7th. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
UCLA and USC are two of the four number one seeds in the NCAA women's basketball tournament. The other two number one seeds, South Carolina and Texas. First game for UCLA is Friday at Pauley Pavilion against UC San Diego or Southern University. They meet up Wednesday in a play-in game. Southern is one of two HBCU schools in the NCAA women's tournament. The other is Norfolk State. First game for USC is Saturday at noon at the Galen Center against North Carolina Greensboro. UCLA also has a team in the NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Bruins, a number 7 seed in the Midwest Regional, play Utah State Thursday night in Lexington, Kentucky. The Lakers snapped their 4-game losing streak Sunday. They beat Phoenix 106-97. The Clippers are 6-1 in their last 7 games after beating Charlotte 123-88, 31 points and 7 assists for James Harden. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit caspvolunteer.org. Protect yourself from Medicare card scams. Scammers may call, email, or even knock on your door claiming they need your Medicare info, asking for money or threatening to cancel your benefits. Don't fall for it. It's a scam. Remember, Medicare doesn't need to verify your information. They already have it. Medicare won't charge you for a new card and will never threaten to cancel benefits. Check your Medicare statements for suspicious charges and report scams to the California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. We're here to help.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCK to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text ROCK to 42424. That's ROCK to 42424.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at Metamucil.com. I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA KBLA Talk 1580.
Okie dokie. Did you guys see where Elon Musk posted on Twitter that Hitler didn't murder millions of people? Well, actually, he doesn't just say Hitler. He says Hitler, Stalin, and Mao didn't murder millions of people. Their public sector employees did. I think that is a little weak attempt at justifying the thousands and tens of thousands of folks whose jobs he is cutting right now. He took it down after the ADL made a statement, since they've decided to start holding him accountable. But it's a look at a certain kind of mindset. The Trump administration is denying that they are ignoring a court order, even while they're, well, apparently ignoring a court order. It said the judge told them on Saturday to stop deporting these alleged Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador, and they went ahead and kept deporting these people. But now they're saying we did not refuse to comply with the court order. The order, which had no lawful basis, was issued after terrorist aliens had already been removed from the U.S. So they're saying their pushback is the court order wasn't legal and we complied with it because we had already deported these folks. And then it says a single judge in a single city cannot direct the movements of an aircraft carrier full of foreign alien terrorists who are physically expelled from U.S. territory. Okay, number one, that sounds like a whole bunch of BS. And number two, yes, a single judge in a single city actually can. That's kind of how the judicial system works. Let's go to Jeanette calling us from Inglewood. Good morning, Jeanette.
Good morning, Dominique. Thank you for taking my call. So today for Women's Black History Month, and I know that is all women, but for me, Black Women's History Month, I want to speak on Moms Mabley, who was a stand-up comedian, Ruth Ellis, an activist, Mabel Hampton, a dancer, Gladys Bentley, a blues singer, and I chose these women because they were openly gay. And Ruth, she was an LGBTQ activist. And I chose them also to say that if this was such an abomination to be gay, then we should remember that God and Jesus are love. And if we are Christians, we are to follow the Jesus example and love. So when Jesus walked the earth, he spoke to a woman at a well, and he told her that the man that she was living with was not her husband. And that's all he said. And then he sent her on her way. And that's in John 4:7-18, if anybody wants to read. Another incident was the woman that was caught in the very act of adultery. Jesus, he didn't condemn her either, and he just told her to go and sin no more. And that's in John 8:1-11. But I cannot find anywhere in the Bible where Jesus was walking the earth talking to people, where he said anything about homosexuality. I mean, where he made it absolutely clear that it was wrong or that it was an abomination. So if it was wrong, I believe that he would have addressed it. So I just want to remind people, we are to love everybody. That's all.
All right, Jeanette. Well, thank you for that. I never pretend to be a Bible scholar or the last word or any, kind of authority on people's interpretations of Scripture. But I certainly appreciate you sharing with us. And I'm always here for reminders that God is love, and we are not to be judging others. That's between them and their God. We need to worry about our own souls, our own families, our own communities. Jeanette, I always appreciate talking with you. Let's go to Big Phil calling us from L.A. Grand Rising, as they say. Big Phil.
Good morning. Devil don't sleep. Oh, my goodness. A lot of chaos in the world. Keep waking up and pray up. Let me tell you something. They're trying to throw my girl Karen Bass on the bus. Now they come up with a letter saying she told the girl, you know what, that's the fire union. They nothing but racists, okay? They're not going to win, so they can try, okay? It's a bunch of BS, okay? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a bunch of BS. I do think that the attacks are fast and furious right now. They're coming from the left, the right. They're coming from the press, and people, and they're coming from fellow lawmakers in a way that is definitely giving, okay, we smell blood in the water, so let's try to take this black woman down while we can.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shameless, really.
Well, we're going to win at the end, Dominique, so you guys take care down there, and part 2 next time. Be careful.
All right, Big Phil. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you and your insights. It's a lot. And I would add the media, because I feel like national media has latched onto it as a story. I think because of the quick labeling of DEI, because LA is such a huge, huge city, but also because the billionaires have made it national. The LA Times says that supporters of Karen Bass are trying to make it seem like billionaires are attacking her. But they are attacking her. Elon Musk, who's the richest man in the world, was on Twitter calling her a Karen and talking terribly about her, blaming everything on her, from the wind to the fire to the response. And the fire response has actually been quite effective. You had her own fire chief obviously throwing her under the bus. We didn't see that with the county. You've got these leaked text messages. Who's leaking text messages? That makes you say, well, we can speculate. But, and then, of course, the LA Times, which is saying that supporters are trying to make it seem like billionaires are throwing her under the bus, is owned by a billionaire who's throwing her under the bus every single day, and who's been very clear that he would not, he wouldn't support Kamala Harris, and that he was going to apply this bias meter to all articles. The problem with the bias meter is biased, which is why they took it out of service. It's an AI tool, which I imagine they are going to bring back into service at some point, probably sooner than later. But they took it down because it appeared to be an apologist for the KKK. And that is not a good look for your first rollout of your bias meter. The writer made an argument, well, it wasn't really supporting the KKK. It was saying that people could make this argument to support the KKK. But we know the built-in bias there. And we know that the billionaires, Kara Swisher's trying to buy the Washington Post from Jeff Bezos, and he won't give it up. Not because she doesn't have the money to buy it, but because the billionaires have realized that whether it's Twitter, the Washington Post, or the LA Times, that papers of record are an absolutely invaluable propaganda tool, and they are weaponizing them as such. And the thing about that is that because it's a mainstream paper, it has the image of being fact-checked and being unbiased. But the reality of that is they have total discretion over that. The owners, those billionaires can fact-check or not fact-check, just like Meta. They can follow up or not follow up. And so now that the billionaires have had their secret meeting, or not so secret meeting, I don't know, I wasn't invited, it's clear that they have decided that holding on to sources of public information and skewing them to their agenda is part of their formula for success. Let the buyer beware. Big Phil called me at 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
They say the hardest part of getting something done is getting started. Well, we did that 30 years ago when California first took on the tobacco industry. Now, smoking is down 60%, lung cancer 42%. A couple of our cities have already ended tobacco sales. A California without big tobacco isn't just possible, it's already happening. See our progress at undo.org.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like the style, though.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has work source centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, some massive destructive storms this weekend, winding down today. 39 people, at least 39 dead, and 80 tornado reports, dozens of those confirmed. This happening, in the United States at a time when the current Republican administration is making some pretty severe cuts to the National Weather Service. And there's been a lot of concern about whether or not we'll be able to get the kinds of storm warnings and such that we have had in the past. Alabama was hardest hit with winds over 80 miles an hour. And now, of course, the threat of fire is still imminent with very, very high winds. So praying for those folks. We've seen what that combination of wind and fire danger can do here in Los Angeles. The Trump administration is now saying that they are going to reverse pardons that President Joe Biden gave for members of the House Select Committee on January 6, 2021. They're saying they're invalid because President Biden auto-signed them rather than using a real pen. It sounds like a stretch to me. But again, this foray into authoritarianism, fascism, we can arbitrarily and randomly change rules. We can arbitrarily and randomly change traditions. The presidential pardon power has been something that has been quite strong and unchallenged in general. And so the fact that he would try to void the pardons that Biden gave out is very, very grave trespass of what we would call tradition. The president's pardon power comes from the U.S. Constitution. It doesn't say anything about the next president being able to take it back for any reason, least of all a pen. So I think it's just more of their BS. Whether or not it will stand, we shall see. But it just goes to show you that these folks are making up their own rules, and they're going to do whatever they want to, not based on whether it's in the public interest, but based on this concept of the president as a dictator, as some kind of authoritarian with consolidated power on that level. The other thing President Trump said, which is raising an eyebrow or two, at least on my head, is that in order to get a peace deal with Russia, between Russia and Ukraine, they will have to, quote, divide up certain assets. So it's back to Trump Gaza? Is that what it is? He says that the Ukraine-Russia war, that is where, the one he said he was going to stop on day one. It's not quite day one yet. Russia so far has refused to even seriously consider this. And he said that that the Ukraine had accepted the 30-day deal, but Russia still has not done so. Now he's talking about dividing up assets. I think we can read between the lines. It's called, I'm going to give the Ukraine to Russia, just like I'm giving Gaza to Netanyahu. It's criminal. You can't just give away other people's countries and land. That's just not how it works. The president also signing an executive order to get rid of the Voice of America, Radio Free Asia, and all of these government-funded media organizations. That these organizations, what they do is they broadcast in countries where we say there are authoritarian regimes. So China, for example, was wildly celebrating the fact that they got rid of Radio Free China and the Voice of America. Their claim is that these media outlets have become woke, which is hilarious because basically you're talking about propaganda arms of the U.S. government. And he feels that they're too woke, so he's shutting them down. Again, here you're talking about thousands of jobs, so I'm trying to understand how this administration thinks you can lay off all these federal workers, lay off all these USAID workers, and fire the Voice of America, and that's going to help your bottom line, your unemployment, your consumer confidence, your inflation. All of these things are impacted by, massive layoffs and a loss of opportunity. Let's go to Jerry calling us from Beverly Hills. Good morning, Jerry.
Hello.
Hey, what's on your mind?
Oh, hi. I, like a lot of people, are against a lot of these cutbacks, like in Parkinson's. A little trimming may be okay, but these big cutbacks are not good, of course.
Yeah. Well, and I keep saying this, and I saw it on CNN today, affirming my point, which is that even if courts say what he is doing is illegal, if he makes the cuts, if he smashes the thing with a sledgehammer, it's hard to put it back together. You can't you dismantle USAID, right? You can't just necessarily put it back together. There are pieces that may never come back together. Not to mention the public trust and all of the soft power, so-called soft power, that is created by these programs. It's interesting because the approach that he's taking is ask for forgiveness, not permission, right? Deporting people to El Salvador. How can you put people in a prison system that you do not control, that does not meet the human rights standards of the planet, let alone your own country? I mean, I just think about the liability and the issues with taking U.S. citizens, even people that aren't U.S. citizens, and putting them in jails that are controlled by a foreign dictatorship over which you have no say whatsoever. I mean, they could be torturing them every day. I'm sure they probably do. El Salvador is, a third world country. Well, maybe that's wrong. I don't know if it would be categorized as a third world country. It's probably a developing country. Let me put it that way. With a dictator in power. They do not have bottomless resources. Their prisons, I've seen in a documentary, are quite scary. So this idea that you can, break things, including the law, and then ask questions later, or go in front of a judge who you may or may not even listen to, is quite worrisome, I think. And we're seeing the scope of it, Jerry, when he's saying, well, I'll just go backwards. I'll look back in time and I will get rid of Biden's pardons. What? Who does that? Okay. I don't know if you're following Gene Hackman, the actor, and him and his wife both dying in their home with the dogs. And they had said it was hantavirus, which I wasn't familiar with. Apparently it's something you get from breathing in rodent waste. But anyway, now there's a doctor who's come forward and said that he doesn't think that's the case, and that Gene Hackman's wife called him after the day police say she died, and that it's highly unlikely for a healthy 60-something to just die from hantavirus and not have had symptoms creeping up on them. So this becomes possibly a bigger mystery than we thought again. But I will say, ever since I read about Betsy Arakawa and Gene Hackman dying, and they said it was hantavirus, I'm like, okay. Anytime you clean up something nasty where there could be mouse or rat or anything like that, mask, gloves. Because now that I know this thing exists, I mean, I'm already a germaphobe, but we're just going to take our germophobia up a level, and be extra careful. It's like handling nuclear waste. Mask, gloves. But this is crazy that this doctor, Dr. Childs, is saying, well, he doesn't believe the official report. He doesn't think she sounded like she had that virus. And because she would have had trouble breathing. They say most folks that get hantavirus, they die in the hospital because they start to feel their breathing going downhill, and then they go in and they are diagnosed. Stuff like that really creeps me out and will permanently and forevermore change my behavior. And I think it should change yours too, because look, when we know better, we do better, right? When we know better, we do better. I guess Kanye West dropped a song with Northwest and Diddy on it. And Kim Kardashian tried to stop it. Apparently she owns trademarks on the names of all their children, and no one can use it without her permission. That's deep. That means you anticipated that these kids were going to be profit centers, and you moved to control it. I have never heard of that before. But anyway, he dropped it anyway because he's yay and he don't care. And here I am reading the headline. So apparently that mess works. Looking forward to talking with Chief Ayandai Fadara Babalao in the Ifa tradition. That's next after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Cleanup and recovery efforts continue after powerful storms hit the South and Midwest, killing dozens. Missouri reported at least 12 deaths, and the National Weather Service confirmed 34 tornadoes on Saturday. Newborns' parents and staff at a Texas hospital were exposed to measles by an infected woman. The U.S. measles cases have surged past 300, spreading from West Texas to New Mexico and Oklahoma. Minnesota Republican lawmakers propose defending Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness, citing paranoia and hostility towards Trump. The bill is unlikely to pass due to a Democrat majority in the state Senate. And the NCAA men's basketball tournament field is set. Auburn is the top seed, followed by Duke, Houston, and Florida. Texas, Xavier, San Diego State, and North Carolina are the last 4 teams in. The tournament starts Tuesday with the championship crowned on April 7th. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research.
In a play-in game. Southern is one of 2 HBCU schools in the NCAA women's tournament. The other is Norfolk State. First game for USC is Saturday at noon.